Welcome back to our post-Advent, start of Christmas meditation. And I had decided at the very beginning of all this that I was going to continue a little bit past into the Christmas season. So we'll get together again throughout this week, just to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about the hymns that are reflective of the final concept of the Advent season, which is love. So here we have a quote to start us off with Fulton J. Sheen. Love was meant to be also a sign, a symbol, a messenger, a telltale of the divine. Love is a messenger from God saying that every human affection and every ecstasy of love are sparks from the greater flame of love that is God. And the hymn I've chosen for this day is actually based on, or was created originally as a poem. It's hymn number 84, and it's called Love Came Down at Christmas. It's only 3 verses, but it's a very poetic and descriptive hymn to contemplate on today. So take a moment to settle into where you are and take a few deep breaths. Love came down at Christmas. Love all lovely, love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Star and angels gave the sign. Worship we the Godhead, love incarnate, love divine. Worship we our Jesus, but wherewith for a sacred sign? Love shall be our token. Love be yours, and love be mine. Love to God and neighbor. Love for plea and gift and sign. This hymn was written for us by Christina Georgina Rossetti, who was alive from 1830 to 1894, and she was the sister of an artist and poet, Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Because of this, I believe, she has often been overlooked as a poet because the fact that her relation was much more famous than she was. And yet she was often used as the model for many of his paintings, especially the ones that involved the Virgin Mother. She was also often painted as the face of the Virgin Mary, which is kind of a nice tribute from Dante to his sister. At any rate, I looked up onto a website that is from the Perkins School of Theology and got some information about this particular poem written by a Dr. Hahn. And I quote, "This poem is the perfect antidote for those who find themselves recovering from the stress of Christmas season induced by materialism, extensive shopping, traveling, and multiple gatherings of family and friends. In short, everything except for a moment to reflect on the gift of love incarnate, love divine." It's wonderful to have an opportunity to reflect on that for a moment in this time that has been so busy for us all. And now, as we're in our recovery mode, to get a chance to contemplate. And if that is the case, that is what this hymn talks about, it's an excellent hymn to use on the day after Christmas. From the gospel, from the letter of John, the first letter of John, we have another quote, the quote, in fact, from which this poem is based. "For love is of God, and every one that loveth is born of God and knows God. He that loves not knows not God, for God is love. In this way was manifest the love of God toward us, because that God sent his only begotten Son into the world, that we might live through him. Here is love, not that we loved God, but that God loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation of our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought to also love one another. And so, some points for pondering. Think about what kinds of signs are seen around Jesus's birth. And what do those signs mean to you personally? Have you ever had a sign in your life that has reminded you of God's love? And how do you anticipate adjusting to the Christmas season after this Advent? Do you like to slow down and pace yourself? Do you like to keep yourself busy? Do you find things to keep yourself occupied, or do you just want to be? And while you think about those, I'll go ahead and sign off from our time together. And I will see you again tomorrow for a little bit more conversation and contemplation on this idea of love. And until then, take care and God bless.